Christmas didn't arrive in Japan through centuries of tradition or slow cultural evolution. It arrived abruptly by ship, by sermon, by foreign presence, and for decades, it was more curiosity than celebration. The first recorded Christmas in Japan took place in 1552, held by Jesuit missionaries who sought to spread Christianity across the archipelago. At that time, it was a spiritual import, introduced into a culture shaped by Shinto beliefs, Buddhist teachings, and deeply rooted seasonal rituals of its own. But Japan would not embrace Christianity, at least not then. By the early 1600s, Christianity was banned under the Tokugawa Shogunate. Missionaries were expelled, and Japanese converts were persecuted. For more than 2 centuries, Christmas vanished from public life, surviving only in whispers among hidden Christian communities in Nagasaki and other isolated areas. It wasn't until the Meiji Restoration in the late 19th century, as Japan reopened to the West and rapidly modernized, that Christmas re-entered the cultural scene. This time, not as a religious movement, but as a Western novelty, part of a broader fascination with European customs, fashion, and technology. Department stores began using Christmas to promote winter shopping. Hotels offered at Christmas dinners for foreign guests. The holiday had returned, not as worship, but as spectacle. In the post-World War II era, under American occupation, Christmas began to take deeper root in urban life. American soldiers celebrated with trees, lights, and music. Japanese businesses, always quick to adapt, seized the opportunity. They sold tinsel, senta suits, and gift sets. Bakeries introduced kirksumsu, keiki, Christmas cakes. Fried chicken, will come to that, soon became a surprise staple. And slowly, a new kind of Christmas was born. Unlike the religiously anchored Christmas of the West, Japan's version became one of emotion over dogma. A holiday detached from its spiritual origins, yet deeply meaningful in its own way. It became about kindness, joy, generosity, romance, and beauty values that harmonized with Japan's own traditions of seasonal celebration, gift-giving, and communal harmony. Japanese culture is already attuned to the idea of marking seasons with beauty. Hanami for cherry blossoms in spring. Obin for ancestral remembrance in summer. Tsukimi for moon viewing in autumn. So when Christmas arrived with its trees, lights, songs, and images of snow, it fit neatly into a rhythm the Japanese already understood. The art of celebrating time itself. But the brilliance of Japan's approach lies in how it transformed imported tradition into native experience. Take the figure of Santa Claus, known as Santa-san in Japan. He's present. Yes, in malls and cartoons and marketing, but he's not omnipresent. Children may receive gifts, but Santa is a gentle character here, not a looming judge of good and bad behavior, but more a seasonal friend. Or the Christmas tree, a familiar image, often displayed in public spaces, department stores, and some homes. But it's not tied to religious symbolism. It's an aesthetic choice, part of the scenery of winter joy. Likewise, Christmas music is present, Western carols and J-pop ballads alike, but it coexists with the natural quiet of Japanese December, where snowfall and silence create a contemplative backdrop. Even the idea of gift-giving at Christmas blends into Japan's existing gift culture, already rich with traditions like omehof souvenirs, asibo yeren gifts, and otoshidama New Year's money for children. Gifts are often modest, thoughtful, beautifully wrapped. The act of giving is more important than the item itself, a sentiment that fits perfectly with the soft emotional core of Japanese Christmas. Perhaps what is most fascinating is that this transformation wasn't orchestrated by government decree or religious mission. It happened organically, through the quiet adoption of imagery and ritual, through marketing, media, and moments of connection. It evolved through daily life, school festivals, hotel promotions, bakery windows, romantic films, and now, for many Japanese people, Christmas feels natural not because it was always there, but because they've made it their own. A celebration not of Christ, but of light, not of doctrine, but of deliberate joy. In a culture that often values subtlety over expression, modesty over indulgence, Japanese Christmas stands as a tender exception, a time when people allow themselves to indulge in a little magic, a little sparkle, a little romance. It's not the same Christmas the missionaries once preached, But it is no less meaningful, because in the end, Japan didn't borrow Christmas. It remixed it, rewrote it, lit it from within, and gave the world a new version, one that celebrates beauty, connection, and the human need to pause, feel wonder, and walk together beneath winter stars. As December deepens in Japan, when the air turns crisp and the nights grow longer, a spectacular transformation occurs. Entire city blocks become canvases of light. Trees shimmer in sequenced patterns. Arches of blue and gold guide pedestrians through glowing tunnels. Buildings pulsed with synchronized animations, and streets, once ordinary, now seem drawn from dreams. This is the season of Illuminations, a uniquely Japanese way of experiencing Christmas without a word of religion, but with the full force of wonder. In most countries, holiday lights are part of the Christmas backdrop, cozy, cheerful, traditional. But in Japan, they are the main attraction, the emotional core of the winter season. The illuminations are not simply decorative, they are events, destinations, carefully designed experiences that people plan dates around, travel for, and photograph endlessly. It is Christmas reimagined through the lens of Japanese aesthetics, precise, immersive, and quietly breathtaking. The origins of these displays trace back to the 1990s, when a few cities began experimenting with large-scale winter lighting to draw tourists during the colder months. But what began as modest efforts quickly evolved into national phenomena. Now, nearly every major city and many rural towns have their own iconic illuminations, each with a distinct identity. In Tokyo, several districts compete for attention. Roppongi Hills glows with blue and white lights along its famous Kiyaki-Triya Avenue, a modern winter scene beneath the towering Mori building. Shibuya becomes a cascade of light and motion, while Shinjuku's southern terrace wraps passers-by in golden warmth. Omotsundo, one of the city's most elegant avenues, becomes a corridor of soft light, reflecting in the glass facades of designer shops and echoing the footsteps of couples walking hand in hand. One of the most beloved displays in Tokyo is at Tokyo Midtown, where LED fields simulate starry skies that shift and move to ambient music. Crowds gather in silence, awestruck, as the lights ripple like galaxies across the ground. In a culture that values both spectacle and serenity, these illuminations offer both majesty and peace. In Osaka, the Metasuji illumination turns one of the city's busiest boulevards into a glowing artery of gold. In Kobe, the luminary holds deep emotional significance. First lit in 1995 as a memorial to those lost in the Great Hanshin earthquake, the display now serves as both remembrance and renewal, a cathedral of light that invites contemplation as much as admiration. Further north, Sapporo's snowy streets provide a magical contrast. Real snow underfoot, LED snowflakes above. In Fendai, the pageant of starlight lights up over 160 zelkova trees along Jazingidori Avenue with hundreds of thousands of tiny bulbs, creating a tunnel of warm orange light that feels both festive and otherworldly. Even small towns get involved. Resorts like Ashikaga Flower Park in Tochigi and Nabana no Sato in Mie transform their gardens into sprawling winter dreamlands, with illuminated tunnels, glowing lakes, and animated displays synchronized to music. These are not short-term decorations, they are full productions, often beginning in November and lasting until Valentine's Day or beyond. But the true beauty of Japan's illuminations isn't just in their scale. It's in the emotional architecture they create. They offer not just light, but mood. Not just beauty, but invitation. They ask you to pause, to feel, to reflect. They create space for silence, for closeness, for photography, yes, but also for presence. And this is key. In Japan, Christmas illuminations are not just for Christmas. They are for everyone. Couples, of course, walk these paths in romantic reverie. Christmas Eve is one of the biggest date nights of the year. But you'll also find families with small children, elderly couples holding hands, solo visitors lingering with a coffee in hand, letting the light wash over them. The lights democratize wonder. They belong to everyone. There is no sermon, no nativity, no prescriptive narrative. And yet, the impact is often spiritual. People stand together in silence, beneath massive canopies of light, looking up, breathing slower, smiling more softly. It is Christmas without doctrine, Christmas as emotion, atmosphere, and artistry. In a country known for subtlety, for the art of less, these grand illuminations are paradoxically restrained. They do not scream. They glow. They don't overwhelm. They draw you in. And in doing so, they reflect the very heart of Japanese Christmas. Not about what you must believe, but about what you are invited to feel. They turn cities into sanctuaries, nights into rituals. And for a season, they let people walk together beneath impossible beauty-finding, into lights, a story not of birth or theology, but of presence, peace, and quiet joy. As December 24th approaches, something unexpected happens. In Japan, hotels fill up, restaurants are booked weeks in advance, gift shops stock up on accessories, chocolates, and perfumes. And across the country, an entire generation begins preparing not for a family dinner, but for a date night. In Japan, Christmas Eve is not for families, it's for lovers. Unlike the West, where Christmas is often a day of family reunions and quiet reflection, in Japan, Christmas Eve has taken on the emotional tone of Valentine's Day. It's a time for couples to come together to dress up, exchange small gifts, enjoy romantic dinners, and bask in the glow of winter lights. For many, it is the most romantic night of the year. This cultural twist began in the 1980s and 1990s, when Western media, advertising campaigns, and the rise of consumer culture reshaped the way Christmas was perceived. Western films often portrayed Christmas as a time for romance, snowy dates, gift-giving, and kisses under the mistletoe. Japanese companies picked up on this and transformed the narrative. Christmas became not a religious or familial obligation, but a romantic opportunity. And so, the rituals of Japanese Christmas Eve were born. In cities like Tokyo, Kyoto, and Yokohama, couples make reservations at high-rise restaurants, book hotel stays with panoramic views, or visit famous illumination displays hand in hand. The entire night becomes a curated experience, a memory to be created. It's not uncommon for proposals to take place on Christmas Eve, or for young couples to make it an anniversary year after year. The gifts exchanged are often modest but thoughtful. A necklace, a watch, a carefully chosen scarf, rarely extravagant, but always deliberate. And unlike the gift-giving of New Year's, which is steeped in tradition, Christmas gifts are intimate. They say, "I see you. I've thought of you. You matter to me." This dynamic is especially powerful for young adults. High school and university students see Christmas Eve as a milestone, a symbol of emotional maturity, of being part of something sweet and cinematic. For those in relationships, it becomes a night of expectation. For those who are single, it can bring a mix of melancholy and hope, but even then, it's often approached with humor, not sadness. In Japan's media landscape, this romantic framing is everywhere. Christmas-themed dramas, manga, commercials, and J-pop songs center on couplehood, longing, or reunion. Stories unfold in gently falling snow, set to soft music and the warm light of These aren't religious tales, they're emotional narratives, and they resonate. What is fascinating is how smoothly this romantic version of Christmas blends with Japan's broader cultural values. The emphasis on seasonal beauty, personal effort, and emotional sincerity aligns perfectly with the country's traditions. It doesn't feel like a forced borrowing. It feels like a seasonal harmony. Of course, this doesn't mean all Japanese people celebrate Christmas Eve romantically. Many still spend it with friends, co-workers, or even alone. But the cultural script, the one echoed in media, in advertisements, in city streets, is centered on romance. And that script has carved out a space in the emotional calendar of millions. There's something uniquely gentle about this phenomenon. It's not flashy, it's not extravagant. It's soft. A night out, a quiet meal, a walk through light, a shared dessert. It reflects a kind of emotional subtlety that defines much of Japanese life. Moments crafted not through noise, but through intention. And for many, it's not even about Christmas per se. It's about ritual and connection. About marking the season with someone special, about finding, in the cold of winter, a little warmth, not from candles or fireplaces, but from shared presence. It's this emotional intimacy that gives Japanese Christmas its signature tone. Less familial, less spiritual, but no less heartfelt. It's a holiday that says, you don't have to believe in the birth of Christ to believe in each other. And so, On Christmas Eve, while families in other parts of the world gather around the dinner table, in Japan, two people sit across from each other in a softly lit restaurant. Snow falling outside, hands slowly reaching across the table. And in that moment, no nativity, no sermon, no star in the sky. There is still something sacred. A reminder that love, in any culture, in any language, still shines the brightest in the dark. If you walk into a Japanese bakery in December, you'll find a particular cake displayed in every window, soft, round, and topped with bright red strawberries over whipped cream. Beside it, miniature Santa's smile, chocolate plaques, red Merry Christmas, and white icing glistens like fresh snow. This is Kirksumasu keiki, Japanese Christmas cake, a dessert that has become so culturally iconic, it's hard to imagine the season without it. But this is just one half of Japan's unique Christmas feast. The other, fried chicken, more specifically, KFC. Yes, you read that correctly. In Japan, Christmas dinner often means a bucket of crispy fried chicken ordered weeks in advance, sometimes with sparkling wine or cake included. It's a tradition born not of religion, not even of family custom, but of one of the most successful marketing campaigns in history. Let's begin with the cake. The Christmas cake tradition in Japan dates back to the post-World War Segundo era. After the war, Japan underwent rapid modernization and westernization. Western food, fashion, and holidays began to permeate daily life, especially in cities. The sponge cake, with its soft texture and rich decoration, came to symbolize modernity, luxury, and happiness. By the 1960s and 70s, bakeries and department stores began promoting the Christmas cake as the perfect treat for a modern Japanese family. Advertisements showed smiling children, proud parents, and snowy imagery. And even though most Japanese people didn't celebrate Christmas religiously, the cake caught on. It became a ritual of the season, a symbol of sweetness, togetherness, and celebration. Today, almost every family or couple in Japan buys or makes a Christmas cake. It's not a heavy dessert. It's light, fluffy, and elegant, much like the aesthetic of the Japanese Christmas itself. Sold in sizes from single-serving to large family rounds, often elaborately boxed, the cake has become more than dessert. It's a seasonal centerpiece. But as the cake came from post-war Western influence, so did the fried chicken with a twist. In the 1970s, the American fast food chain Kentucky Fried Chicken was still relatively new in Japan, but a clever ad campaign changed everything. The story goes that a foreign customer entered a KFC in Tokyo and said they wanted turkey for Christmas, but couldn't find any, so they'd settle for chicken. The local manager, inspired, launched a campaign called Korisumasu Niwa Kentucky for Christmas. The campaign framed KFC as the next best thing to a Western Christmas dinner. It promised fun, festivity, and a taste of America. With Japan lacking any firm Christmas food tradition, the idea took hold, and it has never let go. Today, ordering KFC for Christmas is a national phenomenon. Families reserve their buckets weeks in advance. Some may even pre-order full Christmas sets, including chicken, cake, salad, and champagne. KFC staff wear Santa hats. Queues stretch out the door. For one night, fried chicken becomes a holiday delicacy. This quirky tradition has become so embedded in the Japanese holiday experience that even people who don't usually eat fast food will participate. It's not about the food, exactly. It's about the feeling. Rich, the sense that, like lighting a parole in the Philippines or hanging stockings in the West, you are doing something seasonal, shared, and joyful. And while KFC reigns supreme, other chains and local shops have joined in. Roast chicken, karaage, or baked poultry dishes are popular alternatives. Supermarkets offer Christmas bento boxers, and some families prepare Western-inspired meals at home. But regardless of the main course, the cake is almost always there at the end, sweet, soft, and photogenic. What's fascinating about these food traditions is how fully and joyfully Japanese they have become. Even though neither has religious or historical roots, they reflect Japan's incredible ability to absorb outside influences, reinterpret them, and build new rituals that feel completely natural within their cultural framework. In a society where seasonality is sacred, from cherry blossoms to moon viewing, Christmas cake and fried chicken have found their place, not because of tradition, but because of emotion. They create a sense of warmth. They give families, couples, and even individuals something to look forward to. They offer a taste of celebration, not heavy, but happy. So, on December 24th, across Japan, millions of people will unwrap their chicken, open a pristine white box to reveal a strawberry cake, and settle in for a quiet, cozy night. The streets may be cold. The snow may fall. But inside, the lights are warm. The laughter is soft. And the table is full not of ancient customs, but of modern joy. And maybe that's what matters most. Though Christmas in Japan is most famously associated with romance and fast food feasts, the holiday has also evolved into a dynamic celebration of giving, both in terms of personal gestures and an explosion of seasonal consumer culture. From department store spectacles to subtle gift exchanges, the Japanese Christmas season is as much about thoughtfulness and aesthetics as it is about sparkle and sales. But to understand the Christmas gift-giving culture in Japan, we first need to clarify something important. Christmas is not a traditional family holiday in the Japanese calendar. That role belongs to New Year's Oshikatsu, a sacred time for familial reunions, shrine visits, and formal rituals. Christmas, by contrast, is lighter, more playful, more modern, and more emotionally flexible. Still, that doesn't mean family is absent. In households with young children, Christmas has become a time for magic. Children wake up on December 25th to find that Santa-san has left them a gift, typically just one, carefully chosen, modest, but meaningful. Unlike in Western cultures where piles of presents are often expected, Japanese Christmas gifts for children emphasize quality over quantity and experience over Santa Claus in Japan is not the strict moral arbiter he can be in Western stories. There's little emphasis on naughty or nice. He's a hindla joyful figure, more fairy tale than folklore, and children accept him as part of the season without any deep theological attachment. He comes, he gives, and he leaves quietly. Gift-giving among adults, on the other hand, is less common and often tied to romantic relationships rather than family ties. Couples exchange thoughtful presents, a watch, a wallet, a necklace, often paired with a handwritten card or a soft-spoken expression of affection. It's the emotional meaning, not the monetary value, that makes the gesture powerful. And for those who aren't in romantic relationships, the season still encourages gift-giving to friends, co-workers, or oneself. It is not uncommon for people to buy something small, a new journal, a scarf, a favorite dessert as a reward for surviving the year, a nod to the passing season, a way to pause and say, "I made it." But perhaps the most visible and explosive expression of Christmas gift culture in Japan is found in the shopping scene. By late November, department stores transform. Windows are dressed in elaborate displays, snowy villages, shimmering trees, animated animals. Inside, the aisles are lined with meticulously wrapped gift boxes, pre-packaged for convenience and visual perfection. Staff members wear red or green uniforms. Soft jazz versions of carols play overhead, and nearly everything is marked as a Christmas limited edition. In Japan, presentation is paramount. Gift wrapping is often included, and it's no afterthought ribbons or crisp. Paper is seasonal, and even the bags are designed to look like they've arrived from a storybook. The act of giving becomes an aesthetic performance, a gesture of taste, care, and seasonal spirit. Shopping for Christmas is not limited to luxury brands. Uniqlo, Mugi, Tokyo Hands, Don Quixote all offer curated gift selections. Bookstores feature seasonal novels. Electronics shops sell holiday bundles. Bakeries offer specialty boxes of Christmas sweets. And convenience stores stock cute, festive novelties, perfect for quick but thoughtful gifting. Even Japan's iconic convenience stores, or konbini, get in on the spirit. Many sell small cakes, holiday-themed snacks, and gift bags designed for last-minute generosity. It reflects a national ability to integrate celebration into everyday life, to make magic accessible. And for those looking to shop beyond gifts, Christmas markets inspired by European traditions have popped up in cities like Tokyo, Yokohama, and There, visitors sip mulled wine, buy handcrafts, and take photos beneath ornate wooden stalls. It's a seasonal fantasy that blends the romantic with the commercial, much like Japanese Christmas itself. Yet amid all the commerce, there remains a core of quiet sincerity. Giving in Japan is often accompanied by modesty. There's little need to make a spectacle of generosity. Gifts are sometimes offered with a slight bow, a simple phrase, or even in silence. It's understood. It's enough. The absence of a large-scale family gift exchange on Christmas means that giving retains a certain intimacy. It's not about fulfilling a list. It's about recognizing a moment, a relationship, a feeling. That's why, even in the most frenzied shopping districts, there's a different emotional tone to the season. People move slowly, thoughtfully. There's excitement, yes, but also care. Depressor to head it, right? ISNT. Rooted in extravagance. It's rooted in intention. And so, as the cities glitter and the tills ring, as couples exchange scarves and children unwrap their one special toy, the spirit of Japanese Christmas shines through. Quiet, gentle, meaningful. A holiday that asks not, "What can I get?" but "How can I show that I care?" Perhaps one of the most fascinating aspects of Christmas in Japan is this. It thrives in a society where Christianity is a minority faith. Only about 1 to 2% of the population identifies as Christian. And yet, Japan celebrates Christmas with more enthusiasm, creativity, and emotional sincerity than many countries where the holiday is deeply rooted in religion. How is that possible? The answer lies in Japan's unique cultural approach to meaning without doctrine. Here, Christmas is not tied to belief in the birth of Christ. There are no sermons on salvation, no biblical readings on national television, no widespread theological messaging. Instead, Japan has embraced the emotional and aesthetic layers of the holiday: kindness, warmth, generosity, beauty, and made them its own. This is not new in Japanese culture. Throughout history, Japan has shown a remarkable ability to absorb elements from other cultures and reinterpret them through its own lens. Buddhism and Shinto coexist here, not in tension, but in harmony. Valentine's Day has been adapted to include White Day, a uniquely Japanese invention. Halloween has been transformed into a citywide cosplay celebration, especially in Tokyo. Christmas follows this same pattern: imported, adapted, redefined. And while religious meaning is absent for most, spiritual resonance is not. Christmas in Japan carries emotional weight, just not theological weight. It's about being thoughtful, about recognizing someone you care for, about pausing to share a sweet cake or a quiet moment under lights. In a fast-paced, often high-pressure society, Christmas offers something rare: a gentle, soft place to land at the end of the year. This is where Japanese culture excels in creating space for emotional honesty within structure. In a country where public displays of affection are rare, Christmas allows for quiet romance. In a culture that values humility over showmanship, Christmas allows for small but meaningful gestures. And in a society that holds seasonal transitions sacred, from cherry blossoms to falling leaves, Christmas becomes another moment to mark time. To feel, to reflect. It's also important to recognize the emotional clarity with which Japanese people approach this version of Christmas. There is no confusion about its religious roots. Most people know it's a Western tradition, born from Christian history. But instead of rejecting it or pretending to fully adopt it, Japan has consciously chosen what feels valuable, the emotional essence, and set aside what doesn't culturally resonate. That's why Santa-san is welcome, but the nativity scene is rare. Why romantic dinners thrive, but midnight mass is not widely attended. Why strawberry shortcake is essential, but advent calendars are not. The Japanese celebration of Christmas is not a misunderstanding, it's a curated interpretation. Interestingly, this clarity allows for a purer kind of emotional experience. With no pressure to meet religious expectations, people are free to create their own meanings. For some, it's about love. For others, beauty. For others still, it's simply a night to feel good, to be human, to enjoy a moment of sparkle before the sobering rituals of New Year. In this sense, Christmas in Japan becomes a secular sacred space, a cultural pause, a ritual of light in winter. It offers no promise of redemption, but it delivers on presence. It doesn't ask for faith, but it invites feeling. This is particularly powerful in urban life, where loneliness can run high and connection can be fleeting. Christmas, with its soft lights, romantic tone, and shared customs, becomes a time when people feel seen, held, remembered. A time when even strangers on the street, walking past one another under illuminated trees, might smile. And though the commercialism is real, there's no denying the power of advertising, consumer culture, and sales targets. It doesn't feel hollow, because in Japan, even the commercial can be poetic. The gift wrap, the seasonal packaging, the temporary store displays, they are all crafted with care. They are not throwaway gestures, they are ephemeral art. So while Christmas in other parts of the world may be struggling with its identity caught between sacred tradition and secular celebration, Japan embraces its chosen version fully, without contradiction, without apology, with quiet joy. Because in the end, Christmas doesn't have to be religious to be meaningful. It doesn't have to be traditional to be real. It doesn't have to be old to be deep. In Japan, it simply has to be beautiful, honest, shared. And it is. As December 25th passes in Japan, the streets begin to shift. The lights stay up for a little longer, but the music starts to fade. The strawberry cakes disappear from bakery windows, and the promotional signs for Christmas dinner are replaced by something older, deeper, something sacred to the Japanese spirit. Christmas dissolves quietly into the shadows, and the air fills with the anticipation of Ememisoka New Year's Eve. This transition is not jarring. It's seamless. Christmas in Japan, always understood to be a borrowed celebration, steps aside gracefully for the country's most important holiday. In doing so, it becomes part of a broader winter narrative, a soft prologue to the solemn, profound rituals of New Year. Unlike the Western tradition, where Christmas and New Year often blend into one long festive stretch of parties and countdowns, in Japan, they serve very different emotional roles. Christmas is personal, romantic, and cozy. New Year is familial, spiritual, and reflective. One is soft light, the other, deep silence. On December 31st, the atmosphere shifts palpably. Cities grow quieter, shoppers finish their errands early. People travel to their hometowns. The parties that define Western New Year's Eve are largely absent. Instead, families prepare for a night of purification and prayer. Homes are cleaned thoroughly, not just for tidiness, but to sweep away the spiritual residue of the past year. Shrines and temples prepare for the influx of midnight visitors. Special foods are prepared. Toshikoshi soba, the year-crossing noodles eaten for longevity. Osichi ryuri, a beautifully arranged box of symbolic New Year's dishes. And mochi, pounded rice cakes made during family gatherings. At the stroke of midnight, bells ring out from Buddhist temples across the country 108 times, symbolizing the cleansing of 108 human desires, according to Buddhist belief. Families stand quietly in the cold, listening. It's not spectacle, it's soul. This sacred entry into the new year creates a stark but beautiful contrast with the emotional lightness of Christmas just days earlier. And yet, both coexist in the Japanese winter season, one modern and imported, the other ancient and rooted. In fact, many people describe this time from late December to early January not as two holidays, but as a single emotional arc. First, the sweetness and sparkle of Christmas, cakes, lights, music, romance. Then, a gentle descent into stillness. Reflection, family, renewal. There is even a cultural understanding that Christmas can act as a kind of emotional warm-up, a chance to unwind, to soften, to feel. Then comes the reset. The deeper questions, the quiet prayers, the honoring of ancestors, the hopes for the future. And this flow is echoed in the design of the season itself. Shopping districts go from red and green to white and gold. Christmas carols give way to traditional shakuhachi flute music or solemn New Year ballads. Santa displays are replaced with kadomatsu, arrangements of pine, bamboo, and plum branches placed at entrances to welcome ancestral spirits. Department stores close for the first few days of January. A rare event in Japan, so that families can stay home together. Even the concept of gift-giving evolves. While Christmas gifts are typically exchanged among couples or close friends, New Year's gifts are in. Elders give otoshidama envelopes of money to children, often accompanied by blessings for health and success. These are not surprises or indulgences, they are rites, repeated year after year with quiet dignity. In Tissins, the emotional landscape of the season is layered and intentional. First, the glow of light. Then, the pause. Then, the rebirth. And yet, Christmas leaves its trace. Even in the most traditional homes, the sweetness of Christmas cake may still linger. A leftover decoration might still hang in a child's room. The memories of a quiet dinner, a shared walk under lights, a whispered gift, they remain, folded gently into the fabric of the season. Japan has not just absorbed Christmas, it has given it a role in the emotional rhythm of winter. Not as a religious event, not as a cultural duty, but as a chapter in the story, a story that always ends with hope, with prayer, with a slow walk to the shrine under the first sunrise of the new year. And so, as the bells ring and the soba is eaten, as families bow at altars and children receive their envelopes with wide eyes, the season completes its arc. From imported cake to sacred mochi, from LED lights to candlelit lanterns, from Santa-san to the spirits of the ancestors. In this balance of old and new, borrowed and native, light and silence, Japan offers something rare, a winter season that honors both joy and depth, both soft wonder and spiritual gravity. And maybe that's the lesson, that holidays at their best don't have to be ancient or perfect. They just have to be human. If you enjoyed the video, help us keep the channel going. Like, share your thoughts, and follow World Traditions so we can keep showcasing traditions from around the world.